Imagine waking up tomorrow knowing that absolutely nothing could throw you off balance. Not your boss's attitude, not the endless emails piling up in your inbox, not even the driver who cuts you off in traffic. Sounds impossible, right? Well, over 2,000 years ago, a group of ancient philosophers unlocked the secret to unshakable peace. And believe it or not, their wisdom is more relevant today than ever before. I'm not talking about a mystical secret or some 10-step program that'll cost you a fortune. I'm talking about Stoicism. Today, I'm going to share with you 10 life-changing Stoic quotes that have the power to transform how you view your life. Over the next few minutes, I'll break down each of these quotes and show you how to apply them in your own life, without any fluff or complicated philosophy. This is pure, practical wisdom you can start using right now to change how you react to the world. Let's dive in. The first quote is from Marcus Aurelius. Begin each day by saying to yourself, "Today I will encounter people who are ungrateful, arrogant, deceitful, envious, and hostile." People have these characteristics because they do not understand what is good and what is bad. Even though Marcus Aurelius was the most powerful man in the Roman Empire, he began each day by reminding himself that he would meet difficult people. And you know what? He didn't expect perfection from others. He simply prepared for it. This wasn't pessimism. This was practical optimism. He understood that encountering difficult people was inevitable, so he mentally prepared for it. This mindset does three powerful things. Think about it. If someone burns their hand because they don't realize fire is hot, you don't get angry at them. You feel pity. Similarly, when someone treats you poorly, it's often because they don't know better, not because they want to hurt you. Next, Marcus Aurelius gives us another powerful insight. The duration of a person's life is only a moment. What then can possibly guide us? Only one thing: philosophy. At first glance, this might sound depressing, a moment, but Marcus Aurelius isn't trying to discourage you, he's offering freedom. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast canyon and suddenly realizing how small you are. Most would feel insignificant, but a Stoic would feel liberated. When you realize life is short, you stop sweating the small stuff. You stop worrying about things that won't matter in a week, like that social media argument or criticism that kept you up last night. Aurelius is telling us to live fully in the present. Don't postpone joy for some distant future. Don't wait until the next big thing to start living. Your life is a moment, and it's happening right now. Every second is an opportunity to live with purpose, dignity, and meaning. This quote is also from Marcus Aurelius. Each and every hour, make up your mind steadfastly to accomplish the matter presently at hand with genuine solemnity, loving care, independence, and justice. Aurelius gives us a battle plan for daily living. Let's break this down. In other words, give your best to every moment. When you bring your best self to everything you do, you transform the mundane into an opportunity to demonstrate your character. Finally, let's talk about this powerful quote from Marcus Aurelius. Not easily will you find a person who is unhappy due to ignorance of what goes on in another person's soul, but those who do not follow the movements of their own soul will surely be unhappy. This might seem like a complex idea at first, but it's incredibly practical. Most of us spend a massive amount of energy worrying about other people, what they think about us, how they perceive us, what they're doing, etc. We scroll through social media creating elaborate stories about other people's lives, constantly comparing ourselves to them. But here's the truth Marcus Aurelius is revealing. Other people's inner worlds are not your concern. They are not the source of your unhappiness. The real source of unhappiness lies within, when you neglect your own soul. If you don't pay attention to your own thoughts, feelings, and values, you're going to feel lost and unfulfilled, no matter how much attention you give to others. By applying just a fraction of the wisdom from these quotes, you can start transforming how you react to life. Stoicism teaches us that we don't have to be blown off course by every little thing that happens around us. We can choose how we respond, and in doing so, we gain unshakable peace. In a world full of noise and distraction, how often do you truly look inward? Not in a self-centered way, but with honest, deep introspection. When Marcus Aurelius spoke about following the movements of your own soul, he wasn't being mystical, he was advocating for genuine self-awareness. He urged us to understand why we react as we do, why certain things trigger us, and why we make the choices we make. Yet, most people avoid this. They drift through life like a ship without a captain, tossed around by external events. They blame circumstances, other people, the economy, anyone but themselves. And in doing so, they remain perpetually unhappy. But self-understanding isn't about self-judgment. It's about observing yourself with compassion. If this resonates with you, then ask yourself, how will you live this moment? To help answer this, let's turn to Seneca, another great Stoic philosopher who said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Think about that. Our minds are like master storytellers, often creating catastrophic narratives that never come true. How many sleepless nights have you spent worrying about things that never happened? That nerve-wracking presentation? It probably went better than you feared. That difficult conversation? It was manageable. This is the trap of human suffering. Our minds don't just worry. They construct entire dramatic stories filled with worst-case scenarios. And the worst part, these stories feel incredibly real. But the most successful people don't let these imagined fears paralyze them. They prepare but don't catastrophize. They separate potential concerns from actual problems. Imagine how much mental energy we waste worrying about things that never happen. Seneca's wisdom is profound. Most of your suffering comes from your imagination, not your reality. The solution? Learn to catch yourself when you start imagining the worst. Ask yourself, what's actually happening right now? You'll find that reality is rarely as bad as your mind makes it out to be. Seneca also taught, the greatest blessings of mankind are within us and within our reach. In a world that constantly screams that happiness is just one purchase away, Seneca's message is revolutionary. Happiness isn't found outside, it's within you right now. Yet, many people spend their lives on a never-ending treadmill, chasing more money, better jobs, bigger houses. They believe contentment lies in the next achievement. But Seneca says to look inside. The greatest blessings are within us. This isn't just philosophy, it's practical wisdom from a man who advised emperors and survived political turmoil. His message is clear. You have the power to choose your response to any situation. You have the strength to find peace, even when the world around you is chaotic. In a society that constantly tells you that you're not enough, Seneca boldly declares, you are enough. He also warned us about one of the most precious resources we often waste, time. He said, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Think about it. How many hours have you spent scrolling through social media or binge-watching shows that add nothing to your life? Time is the one thing that is equally distributed. Whether you're a billionaire or a student, you get 24 hours a day. The difference lies in how you choose to spend them. Yet, most people don't manage their time, they let time manage them. They react to life instead of living it intentionally. Seneca would be stunned at how we've turned wasting time into an art form. But here's the powerful truth, wasting time is a choice. You control how you spend each moment. True relaxation isn't mindless consumption, it's purposeful restoration. Time isn't renewable. Once a moment is gone, it's gone forever. And when difficulties arise, remember the words of Epictetus. It is difficulties that show what men are. Challenges shape who we become. They test us, refine us, and make us stronger. Think back to your hardest moments. Didn't they teach you more about yourself than any easy day ever did? Life isn't about avoiding difficulties, but embracing them. They are the forge that shapes your character. In those moments, remember that you have the strength to rise above them. In a world of chaos and uncertainty, the wisdom of the Stoics offers a guiding light. Look inward, master your mind, value your time, and embrace your challenges. You are more powerful than you think. Now, the question remains, how will you live this moment? In the pursuit of a better life, many of us chase after a world free from obstacles, dreaming of the perfect job, the flawless relationship, and the smooth path ahead. But Stoic wisdom tells us something essential. A life without difficulties is not only unrealistic, but it's also unfulfilling. True progress, both personal and in our relationships, demands that we face and navigate challenges. Think about an athlete. They don't become stronger by lifting weights that are easy. They grow through the resistance, the struggles, the moments when it feels like they can't push any harder. Similarly, our character is forged through life's difficulties. The tough conversations we avoid, they are building our courage. The The challenging projects that feel overwhelming, they're shaping our problem-solving abilities. And the setbacks that seem like failures, they're helping us learn how to overcome adversity. Difficulties don't just show us who we are, they show us who we choose to become. Life guarantees obstacles, they are a part of the journey. The real question isn't whether we will face difficulties, but how we will face them. Will we let them defeat us, or will we use them as stepping stones to become stronger, wiser, and more resilient? Epictetus captured this truth beautifully when he said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." In a world obsessed with controlling everything around us, our circumstances, the people we interact with, the weather, technology glitches, Epictetus offers us a fresh approach. We cannot control external events, but we can control how we respond to them. Think about your last difficult day. Perhaps your computer crashed in the middle of a crucial presentation, or you were criticized at work. Maybe your plans were completely derailed by unexpected events. What made it? A bad day? Was it the events themselves, or was it your reaction to them? This simple but profound insight shows us that the real source of our suffering often comes from our responses, not from the events we can't control. Two people can face the same challenge, let's say, a canceled flight. One person becomes angry, grumbles all day, and lets the setback ruin their mood. The other person accepts the situation, uses the time to read a book, and even strikes up conversations with fellow travelers. Same situation, vastly different experiences, all because of how they chose to react. You don't need to change the world around you to change your experience of life. You only need to change how you respond to it. Epictetus also said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." We often think of freedom in terms of external circumstances, the ability to travel wherever we want, speak our mind, or buy anything we desire. But true freedom, as the Stoics teach, starts within. Consider someone who seems to have all the external freedom in the world: wealth, success, endless travel. Yet if they cannot control their anger, their envy, or their impulses, are they really free? True freedom isn't about the absence of external constraints. It's about developing the internal strength to control our emotions, our reactions, and our choices. It's about having the power to act according to our values, not our impulses. Think of it like driving a car. True freedom isn't about removing the steering wheel and letting the car go wherever it pleases. That would lead to chaos. Real freedom is having full control over the steering wheel, knowing where you want to go and how to get there. Mastery of self is an ongoing practice. It's not something we achieve once and forget about. It requires continual effort. Each day brings new temptations, new challenges, and new opportunities to either react impulsively or to respond with wisdom. But with each small victory, each time we pause, choose our response, and align it with our values, we become a little more free. The ultimate freedom isn't the ability to do whatever we want. It's the ability to do what we know we should, even when we don't feel like it. That's the freedom the Stoics promised, and it's the freedom we can experience when we put these principles into action. This wisdom isn't just for quiet reflection, it's practical. Real strength comes not from avoiding difficult situations or people, but from facing them head-on with understanding, preparation, and the insights that Stoicism offers. You have the mind of a champion, use it. And if this ancient wisdom resonates with you, share it with someone who could use a reminder that challenges are not barriers, but opportunities. Let's spread the power of Stoic resilience, and together, we can transform difficulties into stepping stones toward a stronger, more peaceful life. Now take what you've learned and apply it, because the path to true freedom begins with your choices.